Okay, folks, we have something very exciting for you right now, and that is a very special guest here at the table with me. And I've known her for many years, and she has been part of this for many years. She is a 6th generation psychic, intuitive healer, internationally known spiritual teacher, counselor, and former radio show host. We'll see if we can change that. And for those of you that don't know Deirdre, she specializes in psychic, intuitive readings, counseling, coaching, and I mean, it doesn't matter if it's private, group, audiences, she just wants to help people. She does psychic, intuitive development classes and workshops, and does speaking at lectures and conferences, which kind of looks like you have a pretty good audience here. So everybody give a big round of applause for Deirdre Abrami.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction.
Oh my, no, I'm just kidding. I love you. But yes, we are so glad to have you here and to help people and enlighten people that are here. So maybe you could tell everybody, you know, a little insight. And the beautiful day that we have, like last night, we were looking out the window going, wow, is she going to escape the storm again? And she did. So maybe you could tell us what the spirit world and the universe has in store for all of us here.
Aww. Well, first of all, what a gorgeous day. Archangel Michael obviously showed up once again and put a whole big white light around each and every one of us, so then we would have such a gorgeous, blessed day. And what's nice is that I feel each of us will take Archangel Michael home with us from here forward. And I work with Archangel Michael a lot. And what I use him for is protection. Anytime you feel like you don't have enough protection, he's really good for that. He's really good with lost items. I know Saint Anthony is too, but I love to work with Archangel Michael for that. And I also feel that the kids today that sang, and the kids that are here today are really, they're these beautiful, pure spirits that are just sharing blessings. I mean, look at these beautiful kids walking by. They're really our future.
Absolutely.
They really are. I mean, they're the ones who are going to be our teachers. They already are. And so yes, that's what I feel with Archangel Michael. That's why I was very, besides of Sarah, of course, inviting me, but I was very drawn to come here today because I knew Archangel Michael was going to be here.
Well, we're glad you're here. You know, it's funny, and I wanted to get your viewpoint on it, but I was talking to somebody earlier that I was trying to get to come here, and their answer to me was, I don't believe in that. And that kind of shocked me because it's not like believing in a religion. I mean, by religious faith, I'm Jewish. I believe in it. Christian people believe in it. Buddhist people believe in it. Muslim people believe in it. Hindu people believe in it. You can name every religion in the world. All we're talking about is energy, light, and love. And how can you not believe in that?
That's their journey. And one thing I did find out for sure is that, particularly angels, if we want to keep that topic, is that every spiritual text that's ever been printed or written mentions angels.
Well, there you go.
And I didn't believe, although I'm a 6th generation psychic, I didn't really believe in anything until I had a life-threatening illness. I mean, I felt, I'll be honest, yes, a lot of things were coincidental, I'll say, and my girlfriends from high school, I always say thank you to them today. They called me Weirdra instead of Deirdre because I knew things about people, but truly, I didn't know what to believe because my father, who is the psychic family, he became a born again and said if I channeled like my aunt, his mother, and his sisters, that I would burn in hell pretty much. And that, you know, a spirit would take over like The Exorcist is what I was picturing. So I didn't want to talk to the spirit world. I thought there was nothing out there. But after experiencing a life-threatening illness where I actually felt heaven, saw it, tasted it, I changed my whole perspective. So I feel I'm here to help those that feel the same as I do. I'm not here to convince those that aren't. And because yes, we will on occasion get skeptics, but you know what, that's their journey. And who am I? If I judge them, that's just as bad as them judging me.
Right, and I just feel, it's something so universal, like the picture inside coexists.
Yes, I love that.
We should all coexist. And, I don't know if I told this to you last time, but I had a story very similar to yours in respect of my great aunt was a renowned psychic throughout the world back when Jews thought it was taboo to be psychic, even though it's in the Kabbalah. And she had a daughter who basically had a life-threatening disease from birth and was not expected to live more than a couple of years. And basically because of that society's rules, like you experienced, my great aunt made a vow to never use her abilities again to spare her daughter. Because back then, that was what people were being taught. Oh, you're going to go, Jews don't believe in hell, but you're going to go somewhere not good.
Right.
And that same daughter basically lived to the late 90s.
My goodness. What a blessing.
And passed on that psychic ability, energy through the whole family. So it's not taboo. It was meant to be.
It was timing, because I hear stories from my grandmother who's still living, who's 88, and her parents were, her father, although he was more into spiritism, he believed in hands-on healing. He had a healing center on Long Island. Her mother, which is my great-grandmother, she didn't do psychic readings for a living, but she would go up to people and just say things. And actually how my great-grandparents got into it is my great-grandfather was diagnosed with an illness and told he didn't have much time to live. And what he did was he was told to come to this secret, like almost society in Manhattan to get hands-on healing, and he did, and he was healed. And it made him a believer from that point on. But come to find out years later that his parents were also. So I even goes back, the lineage goes back really far. My aunt, who's even here today, she did readings for years on Long Island, and even back then in the 60s and 70s, people would, politicians, they would come in the back door. Now they have them on the payroll.
Right, exactly.
And it's open. And it's on TV.
And it should be, because basically, unfortunately a lot of children, we were talking about the children, they say things and adults like to poo-poo them.
I know.
And it's unfortunate because society is trying to teach us to, like you said, coincidence, not paying attention to it, not listening. And it's funny because my daughter, who was supposed to engineer today, she was scheduled to be induced tomorrow actually, and her due date wasn't until October 5th. And so as I was going to the hospital this morning, I'm thinking, okay, just a few months ago, I was in this same situation, and so if that's not a message of spirituality and these type of things, that twice in a matter of months, a child was born on the day of one of Sarah's party, I don't know what is a message, okay?
You think?
I'm telling you.
I love working with kids. I actually teach children's psychic classes, and they are so good because they're so open. They have no fear. And I find the younger they are, the less fear they have. And they're such brilliant spirits.
Well, what's good about that you're teaching them is because without somebody like you to teach them, they do have fear. Because like my cousin, who was the granddaughter of my great aunt Rose, has like probably some of the strongest psychic abilities I've ever met since a little kid. And it was so strong when she was a kid, and her parents used to make like you were saying, like, ooh, it was evil and bad, and so it used to scare her.
Yes.
Because there was nobody really there to support her.
Yes, I feel that one of my goals is to teach everybody we're born with intuition. At some point in our life, unfortunately, it turns about 7 or 11, about 11, 12 years old is when you start worrying about society or maybe your parents' religious beliefs, and that's when we start to not tell anybody about it. So one of my goals is really just to teach everybody this is normal. It's like having a right arm or a left arm. It's part of us. It's one of our senses. We're taught, if we listen to our senses at that age, can you imagine where we'll be as an adult?
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm really, it's amazing because I do carpool, and it's so cute because I drop my daughter off at this, we'll take turns as moms, and this little girl last week came up to me when I was dropping my daughter off at her carpool, and little girl, she's in 5th grade, comes over, "Hi, are you the fortune teller mom?" And I said, "Sure, if you want to call it that." Obviously one of her parents called it that, because how would a 10-year-old know the word fortune teller mom? But it was so cute. She's like, "What, can you tell me something?" And I said, "You're supposed to be a teacher." And she's like, comes in, she sticks her head in the window, and she's like, "I really do, but don't tell my daddy, because when I told my dad I wanted to be a teacher, he said they don't make enough money, so please don't tell my daddy what I do." And I had this sensation to tell her, "Go be a teacher, you're going to be the best teacher ever, and you're going to be an art teacher." And she goes, "Yes, I want to go to school for art." She goes, "I always wanted to be an art teacher." I said, "Listen to your dream." Your parents probably want to kill me now, but I felt such a guidance to tell her that.
And you know what? As somebody that grew up in a world of chasing the almighty buck, at the end of the day, if you are not doing what you were meant to do, and if you don't have passion for what you do every day, that money doesn't stick around anyway.
Correct.
And what I've learned is you can chase the almighty buck and you can catch it, but you can lose it just as quickly. But when you don't chase it, it will chase you.
Exactly. Well said. That's why I love what I do every day. I used to plan weddings for a living. That was I enjoyed that also. But ever since this, I pray all the time. Is this what I'm supposed to be doing, part of my purpose? And every time I get such abundance as a reward, but that's not why I do it.
Right.
It helps, I just love when somebody says, "You really helped me. You helped me from all different reasons." I had a 20-year-old girl drive all the way from South Miami yesterday for a reading to see me.
Wow.
This little girl, she said she saw me at Fort Lauderdale at a lecture, and she said when she walked in the room, her hairs were standing up, and it changed her life. And she said, among other things, but that's what I needed to hear.
Yeah,
I didn't know that, how it touched her, and
worthwhile.
now she's doing the same thing for others. She's a great psychic and will be a fantastic one even later in life.
Well, that's what it's about. It's about, in the times we're in right now, we all need to unite together, coexist, so to speak, and just help people. And that's enough abundance.
Exactly. We're all one, right?
Absolutely, which is why I'm glad we're all here and the kids are here instead of sitting home watching the news, seeing what's going on,
This
because
is fantastic.
we can create our own reality, and that's what people don't realize.
Exactly. Just one thought every day, positive thoughts, because whatever you think, you project onto others. So one thing I've really practiced hard on is always thinking positive, because I know that affects others.
Well, and you know what? What's the purpose of doing anything but? It's like some people that say to me as a motivational speaker, well, blah, 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 because I'm not even going to put those words out in the universe. I mean, what is the point of thinking any other way? It serves no purpose. But the thing I tell people is, what are you looking to accomplish? So, obviously, if you're going to put out into the universe a lot of negative vibes, even if it's towards yourself, you're asking for that, and that's exactly what you're going to get. What purpose? It doesn't make anything better. We all go through things in life. We all have our bad times, but without that positive spin on it, it doesn't make it any better. So what's the purpose? It's like one of my big pet peeves is people using Facebook as their psychotherapist. And it's like, so tell me, you put this negative stuff about your life on Facebook so all the friends that you've never met ever can say, "Oh, poor thing." And how has that helped your life?
Exactly.
And so, I mean,